Sorry, here we are. Listening to tavern music on Tabletop Audio. And we're gonna finish this delicious Ghoul Queen tonight. All right, that's the task. An easy task. We can do this, no problem. Let me turn up my mic a little bit. Can't do that. It's all right. Get close to my face. Right. Hey, Tony Carlstrom, first time chat. A wave. How you doing? This is a channel coming at you from New Zealand, and we paint minis on New Zealand Wednesday nights, like tonight, and on New Zealand Sunday midday, we play Dungeons and Dragons live around the table with all of our minis and terrain. I'm not originally from here, that's why I sound like this. Hey, Sweden! I got viewers from Sweden. I got friends in Sweden. Du pratar svenska? That's about all I can say in Swedish. Actually, one of my best friends from high school is from Falun. Been to Sweden several times. Stockholm, Falun, those kind of places. But yeah, there's another mini painter extraordinaire, a guy named Fortikaj from Stockholm, who comes on every now and then. Yeah, so I love Sweden. Haven't been there for a while, though. But yeah, I know it's morning for you guys. I used to live in the UK, and would go to Sweden more than when I lived there. But we're going to work on this. Okay, I got to get my camera angles better. How's that? Hey, Vavoid's raiding me. You got your driver's license in Falun. I can also say Storhest, right? Which means big horse. Because of that big horse outside of Falun. My best friend's dad ran the paper mill there, I think. I think it's a paper mill. Yeah. Anyways, enough about my high school buddies. Vavoid, thanks for coming in, my man. I was just cruising Vavoid's channel a second ago. Just a couple of you here, but Vavoid Kohachek runs a Dungeon Sports Coliseum game. And thanks, Vavoid, for bringing the people in here. I do appreciate it. Just going to finish up this Ghoul Queen here. You're very welcome. I'm going to go close the door to my room. There's another guy from Sweden I just started watching briefly. I've seen him play Baldur's Gate 3. And he's like, he calls himself a bard playing a bard, or I forget his name. Anyways, he's got long flowing hair. Kind of looks like a Iron Maiden guitarist. But he's pretty funny. He streams in English, so I can understand it. So I don't speak Swedish, aside from those few little phrases. Tack, etc. But welcome to all you guys. And I am going to get my paints out, get my brushes sorted, and try to finish this Ghoul Queen up tonight. That's a Reaper Mini. Actually, that I won on Lord Gasum. No, I didn't. I bought that when I was in the U.S. last. Like in April, on the way back from a work trip. That's right. Got a 0 going on, and a 2. No, 4. I'll get a 0 as well. Getting some good brushes out for this one. How'd the games go on Vavoid's channel tonight? What level are you guys up to nowadays? I know Vavoid's channel, I know every session, right? You go up a level, or I believe maybe you top out at level 20 or something like that. I can't remember exactly the rules of the game, but there's something like that, right? So I'm still getting all my shit together here. What do they say? Open the palette up. Your standard Masterson's wet palette. And I also have, so this, I'm not doing too well at this. I might change my camera angles a little bit. This creature here, Reaper Ghoul Queen, I'm kind of basing on this excellent paint job right there, which is not the skill I have. being a mediocre mini painter at best, but still, it's coming towards that. So I started this last week. Hopefully I'll finish it just a couple hours tonight. I might move on to some terrain painting if I get a chance. I have a bunch of Fat Dragon Games cavern tiles behind me that could use a coat of paint. Right. Listen to our tavern music. Hey, Diadems. Me and the fam are doing well. Yeah, all's well. Really busy at work. God dang it. So much so that I can't enjoy all my hobbies. But trying to keep it all in perspective. Really, every day I'm trying to okay, serenity now, serenity now. I have a really excellent life and opportunities, and I just gotta calm down. Tony, still a noob painter, might have painted 20 or so minis in total. I consider myself a mediocre mini painter. I guess I'm alright, but I'm not spectacular, obviously. Like those guys you see who are really professionals. I paint minis once a week, and I have a lot. I mean, you do this for 5 years, and every week you paint a mini, you get a lot of minis. I like to make and print terrain. I don't really watch videos on how to mini paint, which I should. Occasionally I do that when I feel like I've reached a plateau. I'm just not getting any better. For example, glazing, as it's called. You can see here her lower half of her red dress is darker black, and it kind of blends into the floor. That's a glazing effect I tried. I didn't do a very good job at it, but that was an attempt. Again, if you look at the image that this professional painter did, see how that looks really nice, that blend from the red dress down to the floor. But, we're trying. All of my minis, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them, Tony, are in the slide carousel at the top. The kind of images are rotating around. So that's just a bunch of stuff from years past. But I guess... and you're not asking for advice, but if I gave advice about mini painting, yeah, washes and highlights, right? Applying a wash to get the shadows, and then applying highlights, even just at a really super basic level, makes the mini so much better. Yeah. Okay, so for this, I guess I'm going to do the rest of her accoutrements there. And they include some really brown skulls on her. I'm thinking on her dress. Brown skulls. And I'm not going to the floor yet, but those brown skulls, yeah. And then I'm going to go to her sword thing. So, and her sword's going to, bone and metal, I think I'm going to use. 10,000 hours. I know, 10,000 hours to be, I'm going to pull back the, might pull back not my focus, but my zoom on this camera. 10,000 hours. I know, 10,000 hours to be an expert. See, I take a long time to paint minis. If I think about it, hours a week, it's 200. Maybe I've got 1,000 hours in of mini painting in the last 5 years, roughly. So, at current pace, probably more than 1,000. Let's say 2,000 be generous. Still, at current pace, I've got another 20 years to go. So I'll be 73 by the time I'm an expert mini painter. I'm guessing 4 hours a week. So 200 hours a year, 5 years or so, 1,000 hours. It's give or take. I mean, I painted in the 80s, but doesn't really count. Some of those, there's a few images from my 80s metal miniatures in that slide carousel. So we'll see how it turns out. Right. Let's get some brown on the skulls. And then I'm going to wash them in Reekland Flesh Shade. There that is. I'm going to put some white on here. I was born in 1970. At the very end of the year. So yeah, I guess when I finished high school, it was 1989, and that was my first trip to Sweden. And yeah, palled around with my friend from Falun, and close enough indeed. We went to, then I went back to Sweden again, like in the mid-90s, not mid-90s, early 90s. And my friend Yadka and I, we traveled around Sweden and Northern Europe. He was searching for medical schools in former Eastern Germany because they were cheap, right? So we went to like Dresden and Berlin and whatnot, looking at medical schools for him. Then we went to France and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, backpacking through Europe during university, as you did back in the day. Yeah, but Diadems, we're all good here. How are you, man? Diadem's one of my long-term colleagues on this channel. Well, I do remember we would get a Eurail pass. You know what I mean? I don't know if they still have Eurail passes, but a Eurail pass, and you'd get to a city. You'd be like in, I don't know, Rennes or something like that, and you'd go to the train station in the afternoon and see where what was the overnight train that you could like go somewhere and get a night's sleep, right? So you'd go, okay, we're going to Barcelona now. Overnight train to Barcelona. What's the matter, Diadems? You just ill? I'm like, oh no, it's summer there. So you guys are, it's winter here, middle of winter, and I swear to God, everyone's got colds. Seriously. Colds are everywhere here right now. Epidemic. So there's a guy I've watched his videos on mini painting, a guy named Squidmar. He is from I don't know where, except it's Europe. The English accent is one of a European speaker. I know European's not a language, but yeah, doing her little, that's what I call her crotch skull. Yeah, Dives, is this like normal sickness or, but again, it's summer there. You guys are in the land of midnight sun, so just that or something else. I have a bunch of buddies from Sweden. Another one of my actually work colleagues is Swedish. I'm an archaeologist, and he's an archaeologist as well. I don't know what but now I'm blanking on his goddamn name. Feeling blah. Maybe it's just. I mean, we all have the blahs, right, man? Yesterday I was so stressed on work stuff. I was just blahing out like a madman, but trying to recover now. Okay, I'm just doing a couple skulls on her that she has. See, there's a skull and a skull down there. Blah. I'm gonna paint this white so I can then. Or should I paint it black? I don't know. I'll paint it white. So, I know that Diadems is a D&D player. 3.5 is his version. Tony, are you Just a aspiring 20 hours in mini painter only? Or are you a D&D player as well? Hmm. On my Discord, I have a section for mini painting pictures, and people from who come on stream and hang out and whatnot, they post their mini pictures there. And there's a couple in there right now from last couple nights, and I put my stuff up there too. And but some of my friends do. 40 Koch has some of his stuff up there. Yeah. Like I said, he's in Stockholm. He's a great painter. Dragonbane. That's right. Dragonbane is all the rage right now. Okay. Diadems. Yeah, you should find an online game. I agree, but you're right. It is East Coast, and you're Alaska, right? So it's 5 hours difference. So there's a couple West Coast folks. You might. So Lord Gasumba's channel, he's having virtual Greyhawk Con. Early October, so we're still 2 months away basically from that. $5 entry fee, just pays the kind of like tabletop events cost, the webpage signups, whatnot. $5. Sign up for games. You're right, they're mostly, I know there's at least a couple people in that group who play on West Coast. But you're right, East Coast. There's a couple Minnesota folks, a couple Central. I might run a game, which if I run a game, I usually run it late night North America, like now, right? Yeah, find an online game. What time is it? Diadems, where you are right now? What's our time difference? Okay, there's that. I'll look at my picture again. Yeah, blue. And that's a weirdness. Okay, tassels, blah, blah, blah. Looking at stuff, right? I'm gonna get this down here with the white as well. Gosh, I should have primed this guy. I didn't put any prime on this mini. Reaper minis, I'm always scared about priming them because some of them don't take prime very well at all. Primer, I should just painted it. I got a spot I gotta give off. Damn it. Modiphius Mutant Chronicles 3rd Edition. Wow, yeah, I don't know that game. I'm a mostly DMT, so my I'm gonna move my camera back a bit. Yeah, it's just what I do. It's just what I like to do. I'm the I say forever DM, but not with malice. That's because that's what I like to do. So I'm changing up some stuff here. Pulling that back a bit. Not too far back. That change anything at all? I don't know. Modiphius's Mutant Chronicles. Wow. I guess I knew Dragonbane was Swedish, but I didn't really put two and two together. And that game comes from the late 80s, you said? So you played Dragonbane? Okay, in 87, yeah. Greyhawk Demoner. Is it a simple game? Like, I play Shadow Dark as well. And Shadow Dark is... Shadow Dark. That's what it's called. That's a simplified, stripped-down OSR style game. So is it like that? And I mean, in terms of simplicity-wise, simpler than 5e, more simple than AD&D, 1e, 2e. Yeah, I'm gonna paint these. I'm gonna see these bones coming off this thing. Thanks for being here, everyone. Those of you who are joining, this is our Wednesday night mini painting stream. Coming at you from New Zealand Wednesday night, where it is Wednesday night. Maybe it's not Wednesday night where you're at. And on Sundays, midday, basically Saturday night North America, we play live Greyhawk D&D around the table with all of our minis and terrain. 5e campaign. It's been going on for a couple years. God, this paint is not adhering. Should have primed this guy. Well, live and learn. I mean, I should not prime it. I should have painted it black, everything black first, like the stones tell us to do. Free League publishes Dragonbane, does it internationally with Morpheus. Okay, so Free League also does. They do a lot of stuff, don't they? Do they do like the Mutant Year Zero? I played Mutant Year Zero. What else? Do they do Blade Runner, maybe? Maybe they do one of the Lord of the Rings versions? I'm really bummed. Hey, Rose Wolf. How you doing? Rose Wolf, we're just doing our Wednesday night mini painting stream. Talking a bit of D&D with our new friend, Tony Karlstrom from Sweden. I catch the early morning European crowd. Although Sweden's not Europe. Although Sweden's joining NATO, right? That's still going on, is it not? Yeah, Diadems, I think that the key to your blues is playing D&D. Key to your blah. I am a licensed therapist, after all. I'm a doctor, just not the kind that helps people. It's pancakes, bacon. Pancakes and bacon. That sounds good. What's diamond art? I'm painting these things white because I got white on my brush, but I'm going to have to redo them. I'm certain of that. Because painting this sword thing is going to be a pain. There's some bones in the back of her sword. Yeah, well, you know, as I know many of you people know, they're, using D&D more and more these days to help people out, right? It teaches, to be successful in D&D, you can't be a dick. And you gotta teamwork, and you solve problems together, and you reach goals, right? Goal-oriented behavior, teamwork, satisfaction of a job well done, all those things. Unless, of course, it's a TPK, and then things turn out poorly. But, yeah. All of those things. There's a skull on this sword, too, right there. I'm not saying Diadem says the blues. He's just feeling kind of blah. Okay, I'm trying to get all of the white on this thing. And I think, yeah. I mean, the bones back there, I think I've done that okay. Is there a skull on top? There's another skull. There's lots of skulls. Jeez. I'm going to have to redo these skulls again. I'm just getting them noted with some white paint, but they're going to have to be gone over again for certain. Oof. Take a step back. Okay, now we're talking about Rose Wolf. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I want to say, what was that old game from the 80s? Light and Glow or something like that? You'd put the plastic, clear, translucent colored things into the Light Bright. Light Bright. That's what it was called. But an adult version. I know, I get it. I get it. I feel that streaming GMs are really scared of killing off played characters in D&D. Takes fast in the Spanish. Yeah, no, I agree. Adventure is supposed to be dangerous. So our game, I play 5e these days. Started off with 1e. The game we stream, which, if you at all curious, anyone out there, the whole Greyhawk base campaign is on this World Anvil page where we have all the session summaries. The last 58 or so sessions over a couple of years, detailed character backstories, maps, all kinds of stuff on there. I don't try to kill characters, but yeah, my campaign is not very deadly. In this Greyhawk base campaign, there's been about 4 deaths in like maybe 2 years, and 3 of the deaths have been the same player. She does not heed the warning signs of death very well. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and one of her strengths is, well, one of her weaknesses, I'll say, is not reading the signs, the portents, if you will. So, no offense if you're watching. I don't think you are, though. Okay. Lots of skulls. Okay, that's a brown strap. Got it. That's her sword. Got it. Sword case. It's going to be really hard to paint this friggin' scabbard thing. So, hey, Sazonka, you little bot, you. I don't know if I'm gonna quickly get a beer. If someone wants to ruin that person while I'm away, I'll be back in 30 seconds. But I can never do that very well. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another beer. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna kill this person. I need to do that. Okay, I need to do this. I need to get this first down, and I need to. Yeah, I can block this person in Sasponica, right? Do this. Block. Yeah, block forever. Thank you. Alright. I think that person is blocked now. I should report it, etc. But I don't have time. So tonight we're drinking Eddie Line Brewery Hazy IPA. I don't really like hazy IPAs, but I'm just trying something new. Hey, thanks for the follow, Tony. Thank you. It's not my day job, but it's always fun to have followers. And like I said, I stream 2 nights a week. Wednesday night, New Zealand, right now. And Sunday, midday. Hey, thank you. That band. That band says Monica. Is that a mod I can create? Let's see. I am a really amateur streamer, even though I've been doing this for a couple of years now, but I don't put a whole lot of effort and time into the making a beautiful stream and the mechanics and stuff like that. Just have too much going on in the day job. But I do this because I like the community. I really like hanging out and talking about D&D and painting minis and playing D&D. And as a couple people know, thanks man. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Diane, for doing that. I see now. As a couple people know, I went to GaryCon for the first time last year, or rather, this year, 24, and so much fun to hang out 4 days and play D&D and just hang out with all D&D people I know from online. You know, I DM'd a game, brought my minis and terrain, played in games, played in kind of side games. It was awesome. I'm gonna go again in 26. I'm not gonna go in 25. It's just too much money and time. Not time. Too much money to go across the planet to play D&D for 5 days. I did get to meet Creep in person. You're right. It's just too much money to do that every year, for God's sakes. Good Lord. To fly from New Zealand to Midwest US, hotels, exchange rates, the New Zealand dollar's not that strong, etc., etc. Oof. Yeah, I got to meet Creep in person. I really enjoyed hanging. So yeah, all kinds of people. DM Dave, I hung out with DM Dave and the Guild Superior crew a lot. Creep, who else? Little Bones, another painter and game player. Of course, Jade or Gasumba. Hung out with fucking Ed Greenwood. Kelsey Dion, creator of Shadow Dark. Who's the dude who created Eberron? I was hanging out with him. In the bar with D&D artist Larry Elmore, and I brought, maybe some of you know this, I brought some D&D themed beer from New Zealand to the con just to do this, and I got Elmore to sign this beer can. So this beer can is Temple of Haze D&D, themed beer, and yeah, Larry Elmore in the bar got him to sign it. That's awesome. Yeah, go to Sandusky, Ohio to meet Maddie. No, I'm really now super keen on cons. I know, old school D&D. There's a con that occurs in New Zealand in a town just south of me here in Auckland called Convergence. I was going to go this year and DM a game. Unfortunately, I'm going overseas for work, and I get far Europe. And I get back 3 days before the con, and I don't think I can pull it all off. So I'm not going to go to Convergence this year. But there's cons in Aussie and Australia that I've never been to, which I might start thinking more seriously about. Still, it's really expensive to fly to Melbourne or Sydney. I mean, it's not cheap doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think all of us kind of hang out on Maddie's channel sometimes too. So Yeah, Matt's a great. Matt's he was just last night. Yeah, he was painting last night. Yeah, I have time. I'm really busy this last couple months. I mean, I have a pretty flexible job, but I'm just really kind of crushed lately with busy I am, so I'm kind of bummed. Okay, I'm looking at this. I think I'm gonna give her, yeah, black scabbard. Let me do some black here. I'll do some of this necro. Yeah, he painted that barmaid. That rather well endowed, huge tracts of land barmaid, indeed. Oh, the first. I don't know who the. Oh, I know who the first. I think. I want to. I don't know. For me, it might have been Jay Scott, Lord Gasumba. But I can't remember actually how I even got into streaming D&D stuff. Maybe it was hearing about Critical Role and watching that, and then seeing these other people do that. That might have been it. But honestly, I can't remember. Okay, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint. And yeah, painting's not easy in this thing. It's bone laden scabbard. Oh my god, it's not going on well at all. Kick me. Live and learn. I am never gonna not prime or not black paint. Never gonna not black base coat a mini again. Too difficult. So see, this is, I'm just painting this sword scabbard. She's got two swords, one on her hip. Is that a sword? She got a case on her hip, a case of something flung low under her bum there, and then that sword, that scabbard on her back. You won the Nitty book on Maddie's stream. What? Right, Corsair's Cove from Perth. Corsair's Cove. Okay, I might have seen them. Humblewood. Yeah, post a link. Or, you know, Tony, I don't know if I have it set up for link posting. Whisper me if that works for you. And I will then put the link up. I think I have non-link whatever. Only because I kept getting a lot of like a while back I kept getting a lot of bots, and a friend told me I should change my settings. Okay, I see your whisper, so I'll put that up there. Here's Corsair's Cove from Tony. I'm gonna check that out. See if it is who I think it is. You know, I don't know if I've seen them or not. But I have seen some people playing Humblewood. I'll follow them, and we'll see what happens. I mean, see if I catch the next stream of theirs. First D&D stream you watch, I think Kurt was buddy of Maddie's. Oh, it was a buddy of Maddie's stream at 3.5. Huh. Gosh, I really can't remember. I'm gonna look at the... Yeah. I'm going to take this out and flip it around so I can get the underside of this a little more easily. 375. There's a D&D friend of mine who goes by Oranier. He might be on here tonight. He might come by at some point. He has a YouTube channel that is for which he makes videos discussing Greyhawk lore, history, region, like a gazetteer almost. And with this person, I'm playing Pathfinder now, Pathfinder 2, and we play on Thursday nights. We don't stream it. We have a game tomorrow night. It's based in Greyhawk, and I really like what I've seen of Pathfinder so far. I really like the death mechanic. I like the dying 1, dying 2. I like how you come back wounded, which makes it instantly dying easier. I just find it realistic in a very cool way. It doesn't seem to be overly burdensome in terms of mechanics to make it cool like that. Although I'm new to it, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but I really like what I've seen so far. Yeah, and as I understand, it is like 3.5, right? I've never played 3.5, although I have all the books behind me. All 3.5 books. Put this back in the stand. Speaking of 3.5, I met Eric Mona at GaryCon. Hung out with him. Anna Meyer, Mappus Extraordinaire of Greyhawk. Got all my 3.5 books. Does it talk about in the DM's guide, 3.5 DMG? Does it talk if there's death and dying rules in this? Dead condition, death and experience points, dead. The dead condition. Hey, Greg, I was just talking about you because I was just talking about because folks here are talking about Pathfinder and 3.5. This is the gentleman, Greyhawk, that we are playing tomorrow night in this Greyhawk-based campaign using Pathfinder 2e. But Pathfinder 1 has a lot more number crunching than 5e. As I was just saying, and Greg has heard me say this as well, I enjoy so far the rules of Pathfinder 2e. Granted, I've played 2 sessions, right? So I can't say I really know the rules, but I do enjoy what I've seen so far. Okay, Vampire the Masquerade. I catch that. I catch those guys playing Vampire the Masquerade every now and then. Yes. I don't know the rule set and how it works, and so I haven't really paid that much attention. So I'm painting all this stuff black, and then I gotta come back. But I will come back. So if you're following along at home, I am overpainting a lot of my other stuff, but I just want to I wanted to get some white things painted because I wanted them to pop out at me while I'm painting around them. And I'll go back and get them in a second. Yeah. Well set for tomorrow, Grey League. Hopefully Leo won't be terribly late, but I can stay up late. So Grey League is with me here in New Zealand. That's why we can play D&D relatively easy, and he often joins my table live, which I think we're a go for this Sunday. Everyone, I mean, the main question mark has said she's gonna be present, so that's always a win. I'm just trying to get this sword all blacked out. And then we'll go do better things with it. Right now, I just think it needs this kind of base coat of everything. This is actually not black. This is Necron Gray from Scale 75, so it's a really dark gray. But it's black for all intents and purposes. And then we'll go do the rest of this stuff on this sword. I don't know. I think about my D&D game a lot. My campaign. My players. Our interactions. Maybe, Greg, maybe I think, you hear me talk about this a lot. Maybe I think about it too much. I'm sucking the joy out of it for myself. I don't know. It's like I want certain things. I want it to, and I think maybe my desires are to some degree perhaps unrealistic. Hey, Lurkway man, thank you. Make some breakfast. I had a lurk mod. How's that? So yeah, I think I think too much about my D&D game. Maybe I pull some of the joy that I should be experiencing out of it by worrying about it being too perfect or the exact thing that I want, and realizing that, hey, with a group of people who have other wants, and it might not always. You've played D&D since last December, Diadems? What, is it just timing, as you said earlier? That's no good, man. As in timing, as in, it's hard to, you don't have a group there, and online stuff is difficult because of where you are, the rest of, in relation to the rest of the U.S. God, she's got, this is not possible for people to see really with this mini, but she's got a sword scabbard on her back, and there is a spot on the sword scabbard that faces her back that you can see through her cape, and it's impossible. It's not to get in there. It's this hole back. You see the white dot to her left? There's a sword scabbard part back there I gotta get to. I have no idea how to do that. Yeah, so you know what I mean. And I don't, I have what I have, and the world's not perfect, and I'm getting older, but I'm working with what I have right now, and maybe when this campaign comes to a logical conclusion, which it will, I know it will, in that, at some point, just like my last campaign, I played with almost these same people. What kind of ended it was Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, and at the end of that, in the final boss battle against friggin' Imix, which they killed. And I was, anyway, and they were like 12th, 13th level at that point. And we all just kind of decided that's a good place to stop, And so I believe we'll come to the same conclusion. We'll come to a similar kind of point in this campaign. Maybe in, another year. I don't know. People now are 8th and 9th level. People get up to 12th, 13th. Ultimately, I think there might be an IU's showdown in Doraka, somewhere like that. It's part of my mini plan. Who knows? And at that point, maybe we'll all agree. Hey, let's give it a rest. I mean, give this camp. Let's start something new, and that might be a point at a time in which I can suggest some new things. But we'll see. I'm not going to overworry it. Like I said, I can't. Painting the back of that sword like that is crazy. I'm gonna leave it like that though. And then redo white and whatnot. Get that some black on there. Okay, I'm gonna do some more black and then we'll start putting some paint on this thing. Actually, no, seriously. Yeah, we've had Thursdays. We've had a kind of a hiccupy last couple of weeks. What was it? Oh yeah, I asked for a Friday. I asked for a Thursday off because I had that one-off event, and then Leo got sick. And as you know, Greyhawk, everyone is getting sick. I'm surprised I got sick for a while, and I never get sick. I never do. I mean, I got sick enough that I did stay home from work a couple days a month ago. And I was still fine moping around the house, but I never get that sick. I'm going to sneeze. Ironic sneeze there. I eat kiwi fruit almost every day. I mean, we go through kiwis a lot. I mean, thank you, Dietins. Thank you. It's kind of funny to me talking about illness. I never get sick and then start sneezing. Sometimes I think hops in beer literally make me sneeze. Thank you, Rose Wolf. I do have hay fever. I've had hay fever my entire life, and I take a daily antihistamine. But sometimes I just get something in my nose. Then other things aggravate it really easily. And sometimes when I do have my nose is going off, I can tell that really hoppy beer, because hop cones, right? I can tell they're making my nose work. But still, I can't stop drinking the beer. I'm addicted enough. Right. Okay, we're working on this thing still. It's looking, I mean, this is always blocking out that sword on the back of her. So I'm gonna now, and I'll be done in a second, and with that, and I'll start working on some real stuff. Yeah. Sometimes it just goes off. No, I'm a little sniffly. Chocolate. Also, funny, my family, my mom and my brother were allergic to chocolate in that my mom and my brother more so than me, but bite into a chocolate and I sneeze once or twice. That's it. My mom too. Bite into a chocolate, sneeze once, maybe twice, and you're done. It's just the funniest thing. Oh, I got her that thing down there too to still do. Sorry about the sniffles. No one wants to hear someone sniffle on camera. Do we have a... We don't yet have a... she was getting the truck because she was sneezing. I want you guys to go check out Greyhawk's YouTube channel. Gotta get some more red paint in there. And to do so, you need to go here. Do have timers. So this is a timer which will probably come up in a second, but I just kind of wanted to put it out there. People here? Our current chatter, T Greyleague, the Greyleague, that is his YouTube channel. Eating your chalk, exactly. So, go check that out. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna do this in dark brown. Oh, I didn't paint that red. I got a lot more to do on this thing. Right. I'm gonna get I'm really dark brown with my burnt umber. It's not terribly dark. I'll mix with black though. But should I just? Yeah, it's pretty gray. So now I'm gonna nothing exciting now. Now I'm doing this thing down here, this case that hangs down below her bum, and this is just blocking. This is just putting some, essentially putting a base coat down. Well then, we'll do other stuff with, but. A base coat I should have done in spray paint. I don't have an airbrush, but rattle can spray paint. I should have done it with that. With this mini. Sorry you can't see. I know. Gosh, yeah, so does not want to adhere. At all. This thing. I will in a second though. It's slowly adhering a bit. This is a bit to work with. Unlurk. Backish. Eating said breakfast. What's for now? One thing I remember about Sweden is I did enjoy the breakfasts. But the breakfast being like salami, blood oranges, cheese. That's my kind of breakfast. Although I like German breakfast too. One thing I don't really like is English breakfasts. Having lived in London for 5 years, no, the full English is fine, but I prefer European breakfasts to British breakfasts. It's probably safe to say that most people prefer all European food to all British food. That's probably a safe assumption, right? I think it's safe to say that. Backish, you could also lurkish still. That's fine too. Okay, I'm gonna pull this like this. Check the underside here. It's pretty fine. Gosh, it was so watery though. Oh, it's not exactly midsummer in Sweden, but it's high summer, so you got things like blueberries and raspberries. That sounds nice. Seriously. Okay. This is not done by any means, but for the most part, I mean, she's all blocked out. Like, her dress and everything's done. And the rest of stuff, her, like, whatever she's got, the case below her bum, her sword scabbard and stuff, those are all just blocked out in those basic colors. And now I'm going to, with, of course, some crappy overpainting, now I'm going to kind of work on some of that stuff a bit more. All from New Zealand? I mean, Sweden, not imported. One thing I enjoy about living here in New Zealand, I enjoy a lot of things, but seasonal eating. You know, in America, you can get strawberries any day of the week. In December 21st, you can get fresh strawberries. Flown to you from Central America, whatever. You can kind of do that here, but not really, and people don't do it. So it's nice to get first summer. You know, they do strawberries in summer. There's like strawberry farms everywhere. You go, you pick strawberries. The oysters, there's also bluff oysters come online there. Blueberries. So all that kind of stuff, and I like eating that kind of fresh in-season fruit. Okay. I guess first off, I'm going to do the scabbard, which is going to require those edges. Might do like an old gold. Look at my option again. Yeah, there's lots of gold there going on. Tony, where are you? Are you in Stockholm or in Göteborg or somewhere else? And Falun, those are the cities I know. And Uppsala. Actually, I got colleagues who work at Uppsala, so. Right, getting my paints going. Sorry, that's not in focus at all. First case West, Stockholm, Arboga. Nice. Let's get some of this. Bracing of the hands. Is it pouring at your house? Not at my house. It's raining here, but not pouring yet. Although, yeah, it is supposed to be coming tonight. Born in Stockholm, here in '78. What's the latest? Who's the Stockholm? What's the government like there in Sweden right now? Is it one of the Scandinavian countries that has kind of like a farish right coalition government? I mean, they're the major partner. Or am I thinking of someone else? Or Denmark, maybe? And who's got the... Is it Finland that has the female PM who was, like... had a party in her flat and was, people was all up in arms because she was actually having a good time, enjoying herself. That was Finland, wasn't it? Sounds hard, but yeah. So it's coming this direction. No, I was looking at, as a motorcycle rider, Grey League, I'm always looking at the rain radar. And I'm like, oh, God, can I get to my office in time and beat that massive storm coming? Or do I need to take my rain gear for this after the afternoon? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm a fan of rain radar. Always checking it out. What's the Belgian government like right now? Grey League? Are they a bunch of losers like almost everywhere else on the planet, or are they alright? I tell you, the planet's full of UPL. What's the UPL? That's the acronym for the ruling party. It's hard to keep up with all the European parties that, some countries have these coalitions that include a hard right member, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, you got blocked. That L for loser got blocked, but only by the automod. L for loser. I honestly know nothing about Belgian politics. You must keep up with it though, right? The Greens have gained, huh? That's interesting. Our poor Green Party here, my goodness, they have been beset by a series of unfortunate accidents, frankly, I think. No fault of their own, really. Just, yeah. Sorry, I know you can't see this, people. Trying to figure out what to do with this sword a bit. I'll put some white streaks in there. Some different colors. So the current Decree government, 7-party cabinet since October 2020. Seven parties? Good Lord. I think the 3-party coalition here in New Zealand, is this the first time it's been 3? I don't know if it's ever been more than 3. 3 might be the max number of parties. Or it might even be, they talk here about, the MMP system. And I don't quite understand. I mean, what does MMP stand for? Is that the list system where parties have elected constituency MPs, and then they also have list MPs, which, given their total vote share, they might get more MPs that don't have their specific constituencies. so that the number of MPs they have, is related to their overall take of the vote. I think that's what the MMP system is, but I don't know what MMP stands for. And of course, there's a 5% threshold, I think, to be even in Parliament. Belgium, 9 times more than NZ. More than 6 governments in Belgium, making powers. Federal, race communities, Flemish, French, German, Pagan, 3 regions, Flanders, Brussels, capital, Wallonia. Jesus, legally all are equal. Jesus Christ. That's pretty funny. That is funny. Sorry. This is your local European civics lesson, people. I need to get some. I don't have my red paint that I'd use for this person, so I don't know how I'm gonna. What's that brown way over there? I have a red. And there's more. I need some red. Surge it red, is it? I don't know. Yay, Belgium is effed up. So sweet. So, yeah, Coney, the Grey League is a friend of mine who's originally from Belgium. So he's can tell us about all that stuff. The country that has kept rents twice. So yeah, you had no. you had no. I mean, you had no agreed government for 3 years at a time. Hey, so is there a Belgian monarchy nobility that actually the PM has to ask to form a government like the UK, or is it totally a republic? Because your head of state, the king. Okay, yeah. Really, most right-leaning parties are monarchists, right? In general. I was about to say this is far from D&D conversation, but one of the things I like about Greyhawk is all that kind of governmental variation. And I'm gonna do something here. I think, yeah, I'm just today, no, actually just yesterday, on my morning run, I listened to the latest episode of Greycast, the only D&D podcast dedicated to the role of Greyhawk setting, and and so the last episode of Greycast is about Perrinland, and right here. Of course, named after Jeff Perrin, co-creator of Chainmail with Gary Gygax, I think, which I should have known. I didn't think about it. But Perrinland, the government there of cantons, and all of the various cantons in Perrinland are really uniquely governed, tribal, monarchists, etc. But they all banded together under a single leader. I forget what that's called. The Vorshof or something like that, because it's all Swiss Germanic in style. Yeah, and so it's really interesting to listen to Wily Hobbit, Mateus talk about Perilyn, but all the other kind of, the whatever isn't Furondi kind of the classic medieval feudal kingdom? Bissell, which I know a lot about, which is of course this kind of like vassal state. You have Grant March, which is another kind of feudal kingdom-ish. Below the Keeland, right, which is as a council. Actually, you know a lot more about Keeland than I do. Grey League. But yeah, I really like all that stuff about. I do like that stuff. I need to put some red on it. So. I need to think about this sword up here. I am going to actually do a bit more, touch up some of this white, which I smacked around when I was painting lots of black. Yep. So not Greyhawk stuff, but my daughter is reading. She already has read, but her high school class is doing Fahrenheit 451 for a novel this term, and she read it at the beginning of the year, and I just read it. And I was thinking about this. She really likes this writing style, what I would consider sparse writing style. And I was trying to think of other dystopian novels that have a similar kind of sparse writing style that she would enjoy. And The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Handmaid's Tale, of course. Never Let Me Go by Ishiguro, which is just a fucking incredible book. So I pulled out all those books we have and flopped them on her bed and said, read these. She might pick up one. I think she's looking at one right now. Okay, I'm gonna do a lightish brown, something that pops out a bit more, or flat brown for that. Yeah, do that. So right now, for my own campaign, which we are, I don't think it matters if the players are here and listen to this, but I am now modifying and using Lost Caverns of Sojcanth or Socanth for the base, what they're doing, and I'm kind of fleshing out Gnome Valley, which is what they're approaching right now. So I made I made a nice warren, because I didn't just want to use the one in the module. It didn't fit my style or whatever. Have a bunch of kind of random stuff to flavor the warren. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully this weekend, I think we got a game on, and we'll see. Oh, Tony taking off. Okay. Nice meeting you too, Tony. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you again. We're here every Wednesday night, so we're here for you every Wednesday morning. Yeah, I don't want to hear more about your DMing these free league games. All right, take care. Okay, there's that. We have a mini painting mini. I believe anyone can use. Oh, where was it? Yeah, there it is. It was made by our friend Galaxy Systems. Okay, I'm gonna do some white highlighting here on this sword. I don't know if I'll need to do more than this highlighting, but it's not highlighting, but edge highlighting. So watch, we'll do this kind of stuff. Won't, she says. To make this work, minimal effort, maximum payoff. I might even like line this thing right here. Man, I need a smaller brush, I think. That's all right. You just gotta create the illusion of stuff. That's what I always say. It's kind of illusion-y. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll get these skulls in a second. Do those up. Do this on the end of this thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that again. There we go. Get back. Gotta get those brown straps. Oh, yeah. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Those of you here. Rosewolf, Greyleague. Are you working on stuff tonight, Greyleague, or are you just hanging out? Mm-hmm. Oh, he has gold on top. Should I goldify it? Maybe I will. Ooh, you're creating another one shot. As in one I might play in. I hope. Might. Okay. Do you? Are you DMing for Belgian crew right now? I mean, not this second, obviously, but. Is that Friday mornings you do that? If you ever need a fill-in player, I might be able to, depend on the day. Fridays, I'm generally working at home. This Friday, I cannot. But, you know, just in general, if something happens, you want another body, another warm body, let me know. Or, you know, maybe I can fill in. Oh, do you guys play in English or or French, or Flemish. Oh my god, so count me out. Funny. Because I really couldn't even do French. I couldn't keep up with you guys, obviously. I could say je voudrais, je voudrais aller à la porte. Not only if you desperately need a player, right? I'm gonna reclaim flesh shade the things that I am treating as bones or skulls. Let's see what they look like. Try to do that. They always look better. So it's pretty easy to make passable, I'm not saying awesome, but passable bones using white and Reeklin flesh shade. So these are my passable bones. I'll show you in 2 seconds. This hasn't dried yet, but so, so those skulls on her dress, they look more skull-like now with the Reeklin flesh shade over the white, right? As to the skulls on her sword pommel back there and on that side as well. And those bones jutting out from her sword scabbard. Not really focusing well, but you can see it. So they look semi-bone-like without really any effort to speak of. Yeah, thank you. That's pretty easy. That little trick. Not a trick, whatever. Watch some dude on Facebook do it. Probably not Facebook, probably YouTube video. Okay. Now a couple other things here. I'm going to get one last beer, and then we're going to finish the kind of thing she's holding, that case under her bum there, and these tassel things hanging off her various bits and bobs. And I think then I might do some terrain. Actually, I'm also going to highlight the bones thing on there a bit. Let me get my last beer for the night. Then we'll come back and finish this up. one thing I learned from playing in a couple of your games, Grey League, is I like the way you more often than not describe what I might call a minor situation and yet still ask for player reaction. What do you do? You know, a minor situation. There's fresh baked bread on the table in the middle of the mess hall. You know, something like that. You know, I'm not saying that's you did, but you know, and I thought about that, and do I need to I want to do that more as a way to just that create more dynamic, not just me saying everything, but just creating more of a dynamic for the players. And so I'm thinking about that for my next session, because we did not play Greyhawk Sunday last week. And just 4 days ago, because I had a previous engagement I had to attend, which I not had to enjoyed attending. And just been thinking about that as I develop the gnome enclave that the party is just entering. And I try to a lot more of the time just describe basic situations, not situations that have any kind of, immediately obvious, not a problem to solve. Just a description of what the world around them is like, but not a problem to solve. Describe the world, and say, and what do you do? You know, you enter a room, you enter the mess hall. There's fresh baked bread on the table, and there's 2 doors to the left and right. You know, what do you do? Well, I'm gonna go look at the bread, have a bite. Really? Is it your bread? For my last beer of the night, 8:30. Try to stop drinking beer before I go to bed. If I restful sleep. Oh, good God. Give in to the players to jointly crit. Yeah. But without doing that for vital parts. Yeah. For vital parts, this is fucking happening. And yeah, I mean, yeah, vital parts. I mean, I do, and this is one of the things I think about too much probably. I do, yeah, I don't know. A couple times I've worried that, okay, I want this NPC monster even to be able to impart some information before battle commences, right? And so I think, okay, I've got to develop a situation where the monster, the bad guy, can come out, and there has to be some non-combat interaction before the very high likelihood of combat takes place. So I try to figure out how I will make that happen, so I can impart information and impart some story direction. Yeah. The last big one was when they encountered the fiend in the dungeon levels of the ruined citadel, which I've now taken away from my desk here because I'm building a new model, and I think the ruined citadel's maybe not going to make an appearance at least for a little while. And I really wanted this fiend to be able to get out there and relate this story. I forget exactly what I did, but I think I made it clear that the fiend entered the scene in a way that suggested you can't just kill this guy. He's totally in command. All right, there's not, you cannot. Well, it'd be very difficult and dangerous to try to kill him. And I tried to do that without kind of just throwing a huge. I talked him up more so than I think his CR suggested he should be. I really talked him up. Okay, I'm gonna do the hangy thing here. I don't even know what this fucking hangy thing is. But it's kind of brown. That person has it in black, but I don't know. I think brown is better. And I guess I might use burnt umber for it. We'll see. Let's see how this looks. I think it's right. There's all kinds of difficult. I guess I want to call it advanced techniques, but there's just DMing. You know, there's just DMing, and there's DMing, right? Where you really, really try to make everything come alive. I mean, my God, Carlos Lysing, the greatest DM I've ever played with. Primarily, well, I should put a caveat there. The greatest descriptions of any DM I've ever played with. His, his description of your, here's what I want to do, and his description of that was incredible. And what the monsters did, his description of those actions were just enthralling, unbelievable. And he has such a command of the 1E rule set. He doesn't have to consult anything at any time. In his game at GaryCon, I was playing a wizard, like 12th level, 1E rule set, and I think I would say something like, he would ask me, what is your action this turn? And I would say something like, I'm gonna cast whatever, Ice Storm. And he would go, okay, that's a 6 segment casting, yes. And so you're gonna go, so you will be able to send that spell off at this point. And so instantly knew all the rules, and so there's no issue with futzing around with stuff. And yeah, it was and that combined with his descriptions of actions, scenarios, rooms, was just stunning. Well worth the price of admission. Put this back in there. Okay, I've got this. Yeah, this is not definitely not. I'm gonna highlight that knot. Yeah, and then those little parts, those gonna be black. And that thing, I don't know what the fuck that is hanging off. This pendulum hanging off, pendant, rather. White pendant hanging off this thing, hanging off her sword. I think I'm gonna wash that and pick a color and see what it does. Blue. Yeah, this is our Wednesday night mini painting session. Thanks for everyone being here. We are painting this Ghoul Queen. Gonna finish her up a little bit. Just getting there. I'm a mediocre mini painter, but this one looks alright. I'm no fantastic mini painter. I'm proficient. So we're painting her up. The Ghoul Queen. Whenever everything I paint gets some action in my campaign, so you can expect to see her at some point in the nearest future. They are going to enter the Lost Caverns of Sajkant, so maybe she's the vampire Drillsna. I don't know. I don't think any of my players are watching, so I feel safe and somewhat in talking about that kind of stuff. Okay. Let me see. Oh, should I do a red wash on that? Blood, a Seraphim sepia wash? Or should I do blue? Cardboard crimson wash on that? I think I might. Let's see what this looks like. I can always paint over it white again and start again if I want to. I want to try something here. Let's see what this looks like. Even on the back side for first. It is really purpley. Kind of too purpley, I think. I might let that dry and paint it red again. And then I might use contrast paint on it. Blood Angels red contrast paint. Let me try that over on the other one. Let me see what that looks like. And that little pendulum on that side. Yeah, that's too purpley. Blood Angels red or Flesh Tears is a darker one. Well, this one. Blood Angel, I think. Let's see what this looks like on the white. Of this little pendulum down here. It's certainly bloody. Now that might be. It's interesting looking. Might stay with that. And then I'm going to touch them in a light reddy white thing. Highlight them in a light reddy white thing, I mean. She is a ghoul queen after all. Not just a standard queen or a standard ghoul. You know, she's got some bits and bobs about her. Okay, that now into that rope. Yeah. Some different rope colors on there. Those knots, yeah. Done. And then I'm going to quickly highlight her skulls. And these things right here. I will highlight these other skulls. Highlight those a bit more even. I'm gonna do this stuff. Yeah, some more in here. Then these things right here. The skulls on her back here. These two. Making those skulls kind of pop a bit. I might do that red. There's red. Let's see if that can work. Do back here first. Kind of. Actually too watery. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to do there, so let's let that be. Have you watched my... I've watched parts of it. Yeah, I've watched parts of it, not the entire thing. Do you ask for any particular reason? Okay, what will be on there? I need black, I think. All right. Okay. It is because I don't know. I have not watched any. I've not watched enough to know the storyline at all. So yeah, I wouldn't have any. I can't remember. So I know the players. Uh, watching one of the first videos, they're interacting like with the mayor. They go talk to the mayor. Yeah, I wouldn't know. It would be totally new for me. So it would be a scenario I could go through and not have any clue. To be blunt. Okay, yeah, this thing I wanna. Let's get some gray in there. It's pretty dark gray though. Mm-hmm. One thing I've learned of late about painting You are really more precise when you pull the paintbrush back towards you. There's no doubt about it. So try to position your model so you're pulling back towards you. You're just much. You can't do it all the time, and you know sometimes it's pretty easy to quickly do something not using that technique. But really, pulling back towards you, you're just much more precise than going at some strange angle. Learn that from Squidmar. Okay. Awesome, Rosewood. Hope the doctor thing's all right, but thanks for hanging out, man. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being here. Maybe see you next time. Here or somewhere else. Okay, the gray stuff. Yeah, done. I'll do that in white. I'm going to paint this more solidly. And I will highlight it. I'm getting the far back view here. So I'm doing. I was looking at the table from far away, you know, kind of thing. Right there. Yeah, I need to get that. Hear the rain now. Yeesh. Yeah, now it's coming down here. Okay. Moving forward, baby steps. That one's brown. I'm gonna do this one with a bunch of gray. No, oh, it's down here. This stuff. Gray knots. Okay. Okay, now I got this fucking hurt. This. Yep. This thing back there, and I want to do a different color because I want to get some different colors in here. So we'll slide a different leather color to this ace back here hanging off her bum. Thank you, Loki. This is the part in model painting when I kind of get tired and want to just finish it really quickly. So I need to focus. Not be rushed. Just take care of business. All right, let's get there. We're getting there. Okay. And that strap. I think I'm gonna give it a strap that same color. I'm just gonna use some gold for the clasp. Right. Now it's white highlight time. So let's do this. Let's go. Ping. Ping. Bing, bing. There's a lot of them down here. Jesus. I'm going to make these knots appear naughty. Not that way. There's that one. Not like that. This guy down here. This guy's in the back. Okay. And that tassel thing hanging down right there. That tassel. I do not. I mean, the model guy I'm looking at has a certain style to it, but no. Back. I'm almost done with this person. There she is. She is. And just that little, that thing right there. That little tassel. I gotta make that a color. What color should it be? Maybe it should be kind of greeny for her ghouls. She being the ghoul queen and all. You know what I mean? It'll certainly make it pop in a way. It could be sickly green. Maybe that's what it needs to be. I'll do this and see what it looks like. I can always revamp if I need to. That and some yellow. I will. I made this little green blob. It's still hanging off, and I'm gonna do some yellow highlights on it. And then I have to do her base. Redo her base. I think she'll be done. As always, more could be done, but I kind of stopped while I'm ahead, I think. Yeah. Let me let that dry. I need to ask you. Okay. Reminded it. Okay. I will try to remember that. I will really try. Promise. I'm gonna go use a little. Sorry, you're back. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Rayleigh, give me the topic of the question, and then I'll make it easier for me to remember to ask you. What's the topic? The mic. Okay. My mic. I want a new mic, so I'll ask. Yeah, it's raining here now, really. Sounds like gross outside. There's her back, little scabbardy thing, and her green, which I'm gonna put some yellow highlights on that to make it more ghoul-like in its grossness. Ooh, I gave me this kind of freak at this. It's totally out of control neon yellow green thing I've got going on here. Why I bought that? I bought it on a whim one day. does a little bit good job there. So I think this is done, except for the base, which I'll do in a second. But this, I think that's kind of largely done. There she is, a Ghoul Queen, Reaper Mini Ghoul Queen. I could do more. I'm afraid of messing it up. Now I'm going to clamp that base. All right, going to clamp that base. Let me try to mix some paint here. Put down my 0 brush, go to my 2, which is marginally bigger. Only marginally, honestly. And I got this red over here, some reddy stuff, and I'm gonna add some black to it. Not black enough. I think it's proper black. Red. I'll probably do, yeah, I'm gonna do this on all this. Just want to do. That's really purpley though. Some normal may take this back a notch. It's kind of purpley. Out. I don't know if it's not perfect, this base. But I am going to null all this in a second. To darken that up. Put it right here like that. I mean, look at this. Yeah. Kind of variation of the base. I think normally I will blacken that up, do wonders for it. There for the mow. There we are. Light her a bit better. Ooh. Loathsworn, hi. You must like the drow. Welcome. This is our New Zealand Wednesday night mini painting stream. And on New Zealand Sundays, we play live D&D on the table with all these minis that we paint and the terrain I print and paint and bring up. Hey, thank you. This is the Reaper Mini Ghoul Queen. So just finishing her up, but I'll probably paint some terrain in a bit. Fat Dragon cavern tiles. There she is. Yep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where are you coming at us from? So I don't sound like I'm from New Zealand because I'm not from here originally. But I've lived here for a long time. You like the drow? Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, so on Wednesday nights. Hey! John's here. Lurk, lurk, lurk. Not able to hear me until now because of me? You can't hear me or because of you? Like something wrong on my end? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, okay, okay. No worries, no worries. Yep. Just finishing this Ghoul Queen up from Reaper Minis. You're on the phone now. Cool. And I might do a bit of Fat Dragon terrain. I might do some terrain painting a little bit. Move on to another mini. Well, no, I need to. I have a spiderweb wrapped little halfling guy. Maybe I'll paint him up. I could do that really quickly. After I, instead of doing terrain. Yeah, I have popped into your stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It came from Void, yeah. I did pop. No, I popped into Void. Yeah, absolutely. I popped into Void while I was setting up and had my, in front of my screens here. And then I went and had dinner. And so I was gone for a bit. And then I came back. But I did see that both you and Zelda Potter were on the Void. So Loathsworn, where are you coming at us from? Do you play D&D? Are you a mini painter? I guess I'm asking why you're here. Just curious what's going on. That's all. But I also understand if you don't want to say anything, that's fine too. Not everyone likes to chat about themselves. I understand that. If I do this, then this, do we get a better shot of her? It will focus. Doesn't quite matter. Everything in my entire world's falling apart. There we are. Let's do that. Czech Republic. Okay, so it's morning there. I've been in the Czech Republic when it was called Czechoslovakia, and that was in like 1992. Been a long time. But yeah, welcome from the beautiful Czech Republic. Play D&D. Awesome. It's morning there. What are you, about 10 a.m. or so? So here in New Zealand, it's currently 9:20 p.m. Like I said, on this channel, I stream on New Zealand Wednesday nights. This mini painting. New Zealand midday, we play live Greyhawk D&D 5e version rule set around the table at my house with all our terrain and minis. If you're curious about that campaign, on this page, this World Anvil page is, oh, thanks for the follow, this one, appreciate it. On this page is all of our session summaries, the last 58 sessions or so over about 2 years, character backstories, maps, etc. But you're a new DM, beginner DM, sweet. Got any questions? If I might be able to answer them, I'm welcome. I'm happy to. I'm not an expert, but I've been doing it for a long time. John's here. You're a new BDM? You're a beginner DM? I can't remember. Really? I forgot. I'm gonna null oil the base of this Ghoul Queen, and then the Ghoul Queen, and then do this little guy here. Guy there. So let me null oil the base of that. I'm gonna put some paints away quickly. I should buy some new paints tomorrow. Just stock up. Here's a null oil over here. A lot of questions. Well, so you do the costume and such, since people would rather DM and have me DM them, then yeah, that'd be okay. Yeah. Well, what do you got? What have you guys, John Sear and Mo Sworn? What are your major questions and or major advice? Because I think advice can be given by people who are new to particular tasks as well, right? They may see things that the people who have been doing it for a long time have forgotten about. Some fundamentals, if you will, right? It's always possible. Okay, this creature I think is pretty much done. I'm gonna put this aside, but I want to show her off a bit. So just kind of null oiled the base. So here's this person. Maybe I can kind of there she is. So there's my Ghoul. Fuck. I don't want to put her on the. There's the Ghoul Queen. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this little kind of guy. This little guy is wrapped up in a spider web. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my stand. So, see this little thing here? Bonk. Right there. That is a little figure of a guy wrapped in a spider web. That's all it is. I've also painted, I have a giant spider I painted. Let's just get this guy done. An easy way to kind of end the night of mini painting. Finish this nice figure over here, which I will place. Yeah, I'll place over here. And we'll finish this off. So, I learned a lot of spells and items and such before I even started to use serve at least. I suck at ruling everything. I suck at ruling anything. Well, okay. You feel like getting worse, actually. I said okay, but okay. So, okay, John's here and Lil Sworn. I don't know what to say here. First off, as a DM, you do not have to be the rule master. You should all know the rules and all work together, right? One thing is the DM has the final say, right? You should always just adhere to that. And also your players should know it's not the DM against the players. You guys are crafting a story together. The basic rules of DMing, right? The basic rules. Always keep this in mind. You describe the scene, what the players see. You describe the scene and ask them what they want to do. They then tell you what they want to do, and you adjudicate the outcome. That's the system on endless repeat. And so, you know, that's it. You should, if a player thinks you being, yeah, John Cena, I think you're right. In a Coliseum it is, but I don't play that way. I never have played deathmatch PvP Coliseum style. I would say, John Sear, unfortunately, in a Coliseum type of game, you are simply an algorithm the players are trying to beat. It's a video game. You're an algorithm the players are trying to beat. I don't play that way. I don't do Coliseum kind of stuff because I find that not fun. I'm not an algorithm. I want to play in the world with my players. Not a video game. I will never do that. So, yeah, exactly, you guys. Yeah, that's Graylee's got a good point. Graylee and I have been DMing since the late 70s, early 80s. Right? So, 40 years of DMing. And I DM'd for like 15 years, then was out of it for 20 years, then back into it for the last 10 or so. Right. So, yeah, it's not, yeah, so you don't need to be a rule master. You, unfortunately, I don't think learning how to DM by DMing a Coliseum style game is a good way to go. Because then you're just an algorithm. Not fun for the DM. Who wants to be a fucking algorithm? I mean, it's so boring, right? Well, Swarm, you'll get better at describing stuff. Write down notes, meaning, I would say, for every scene, for every outdoor encounter, write down 3 short sentences, right? And riff off that. Or, what's even easier, for new DMs in particular, use a published adventure. Run a published adventure. Don't try to, from a very new DM, to invent an entire scenario and world by yourself. For God's sakes, no. There's countless awesome published adventures. Use them. Many of them have read aloud. They have text that you read aloud to the players. So use that. I do that all the time. I'm a 40-year DM. 38-year DM. I weave published adventures into other stuff. Honestly, I never really run published adventures straight, but I use those descriptions, those monsters, those stat blocks, those scenarios, those NPCs. I use them. I move the characters into that scenario. I change stuff around to fit what we're doing. Well, John Sear, I don't know. If you have, I would give them another try. Give published adventures another try. I mean, when you're not running the Coliseum stuff, when you're running an open world and you feel like it's not working, lean more on published stuff, I would say. There's also prep, of course, prep time. Get something like the Lazy Dungeon Master's Guides to Prepping and use those as well. This guy. He's got boots on. No, it's not. Also, Go with the flow. True. Yeah, you gotta prep. You gotta prep, John Sear. At least 5 minutes. Also, how to become a better DM? Be a player. Play in lots of different games. Play with different DMs. And from that learn what works and what doesn't, what you liked, what you didn't. So being a player makes you a better DM. The Grey League, who's on here right now, I play in his games, and I think about the stuff he does that I want to use to make me a better DM. I don't do everything he does, but some things he does, I think, oh, that's a good way to do that. I'm gonna do that next time. "32 years. I mean, I think I started playing... Actually, no. I started playing in 81. It was either 80 or 81. Because I remember I was in 6th grade in the U.S. So 6th grade is whatever... And I was, born in 1970. I remember distinctly because it was the time of school where you had parent-teacher conferences. And... So for a week of school, it was half days. So you go to school from like 8 to midday, and then you go home because the rest of it was parent-teacher conferences. And 1 week, my friend Ryan White bought the basic set, the red box. And he was like, guys, I got this new game to play. This new thing, it looks really cool. And so every day after school, on those half days, we went to my friend Charlie Arthur's house, who lived like 2 houses down from me, and we played D&D with Ryan DMing. So that's when my first games were 6th grade, 1980 or 81, for a week of half days. And then we never stopped. Played throughout the entire 80s, some of the 90s. Took a break for 25 years, then came back to it. Well, most of them, that's the thing that I think some people probably just need to prep more than others. I'm an over-prepper. I don't like going into a game not being really prepped. So you're like me, you just gotta prep. And it does take time. Although I would look at something like the Lazy Dungeon Master's Guide. By Mike Shea or Sly Flourish. So he has how to make prepping easier. There's some basics here. There's like 8 things to prep. Okay? They are: review the characters. Make sure you know all of your PCs, kind of their immediate goal. 1 sentence immediate goal for each PC. That gives you a series of hooks during the game that you can drop in front of them. Always have a strong start. The very first scene of your game should be BAM! Strong start. Usually combat is good. You want to outline all your potential scenes. That's fine. It's, so if you have like 5-6 scenes in a 3-hour session, make sure you have an outline of each of them. Where they occur, who the NPCs will be, blah, blah, blah. Define a series of secrets and clues. One of the best parts about D&D is not, gaining treasure, but also gaining information. So for each session, write down 10 1-sentence secrets and clues that reveal information about the game world. You don't need to know exactly where the secrets or clues are going to come from, because you make that up on the fly. They find a note in a gargoyle's lair. They find writing on the wall of a prison cell. Secrets and clues. Have 3-sentence descriptions of these fantastic locations that your scenes take place in, and have a couple relevant NPCs outlined. have your relevant monsters outlined, and select your treasure that are going to be that they're going to find. Those are like the 8 or 9 steps to prep a session. You can do that in 2 hours. So Sly Flourish's Lazy Dungeon Master's Guide. 8 steps to prep. And frankly, here's my current book of stuff. Here's my next set of session notes. And you can see right under my fingers here, I have those steps to prep. Rumors, scenes, NPCs, PCs, treasures, monsters, start, locations. Detail those things, you're done. Good way to do it, I think. So, I know I got a spammer. I can block this person. Yeah, report them. I'm reporting them. They are spam, scans, etc. They're a bot. Blah blah blah. Yuck. Say. There we are. I just reported them, and I'm gonna block them. Right. To paint this guy. So I did a giant spider a while ago. And this guy came with a giant spider. This poor dude, he's all wrapped up. It's kind of hard to paint him because I don't know where the webs begin and the person ends, but I'm gonna just kind of make some colors here. Or his pants and whatnot. So he's got some green pants here. Let's see what that. Yeah, look at this one. Like that. So he's got some short tunic here or something going on. What's that? Over here as well. Give him some more. His face is really... I'll put some kind of skin tone on there for him. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, one of the main things is to really remember it. You're not adversarial. And work with your players, Low Sworn. It's all your guys' job to make the game work. It's not you, the DM, who's like responsible for everything. Your players need to do a huge amount. They should be doing effort too. You should enlist them to help you build the world. So, for example, one thing to do is to your players enter a room. They're in a dungeon. They enter this a kitchen. Okay, you say, okay, you've entered this 20 by 30 foot room. There is the dying embers in the fireplace with a cast iron pot hanging over the fire. It smells of some kind of game stew. There's tables there's a table in the middle of the room with some old moldy cheese on it. And what else do you see? Ask your players that. What do you see? Let them help you describe the kitchen. They might go, I don't know what I see. We say, no, imagine what you see. And of course, They shouldn't say, I see a bunch of red balloons. No. Make them, contribute honestly to the game. It's their job too. Last campaign. And that little tip I have read before, but also it's one that Grey League has used on me. When he's DM'd for me. What do you see? What do I see? What do you see? Oh, okay. I see. Last session when you asked me about what do I see, I described I saw hawks in the sky or something like that. You know? Well, Low-Sworn, the game of D&D is about talking. You should retell your... Then maybe they don't want to play D&D. I mean, seriously. D&D is... It is a bunch of you getting around a table and telling a story together. If they don't want to do that, game over. I would just tell them that. Look, dude, I'm not here telling this... I'm not reading a bedtime story to you. This is a group effort. They don't even have to role play. They don't have to say... They don't have to, like... Their player doesn't have to go on some 5-minute speech about their backstory and what they do. They simply have to... Well, they simply have to work the story with you. Again, if they always want to fight, then all you are is an algorithm they're trying to beat. For me, I don't enjoy that. And I will not... I try my best not to do that. I simply won't do that. Occasionally I have to, but I'm not... that's no fun for the DM. To be a video game machine? No. Fuck that. Yeah. Just play Baldur's Gate 3. Tell them to go play Baldur's Gate if that's what they want to do. Why waste, you're not their computer. Seriously. It frustrates me even thinking about it. Then tell them that. It's not your job to be their entertainment. They need to come to the party. Sorry, I'm getting angry. Riled up. I just want to paint my guy who's wrapped up here. It's got some hair though. I'll make his hair black. Easy. Paint I've already got on the palette here. Yeah, that's true. Really, you guys, if your players want to do that, you guys should all just play World of Warcraft online, or you all just play Baldur's Gate together, right? Just do that. You don't have to play D&D, right? It's popular, but don't just play because it's popular. If they don't want to engage with how D&D is like designed to be played, then like that's not the game for them, right? No matter what advertisers tell you, you must play D&D. And okay, Exactly. Chaps and possibly ladies. Ladies and possibly chaps. Right. Greg, see you tomorrow night, huh? Yep. I'll come on around 6:45 and we'll just see when his Leoness comes on, yeah? Yeah, Lil Sworn, do not... Okay, sounds good, Greg. Lil Sworn, do not let that happen. Seriously, it's not your job. I mean, I have occasionally encountered that as well in my DMing career. I'm just like, wait a second, fuck this. I'm not... Yeah. No, and so be honest with your players. Or if say, hey guys, my job is not entertaining you. Okay, we are all in this together, and if you can't be in this together, because that's way too much of a burden for you, anyone. If we're not in this together doing this, then we're not doing it. So I would say, seriously. Oh, God, lady, okay. So I paint minis on Wednesday nights like this online. And on New Zealand Sunday middays, I DM our long-running Greyhawk campaign. And on Thursday nights, tomorrow night for me, Grey League DMs Game Masters a Greyhawk campaign where we use the Pathfinder 2e rule set. My Greyhawk campaign, I use the D&D 5e rule set. So, but anyway, so these are how I know these folks. But yes, Lil Sworn, do not let... Yeah. It's a group effort. You all need to have fun. If you're all not having fun, something's not working. And be open and honest and fix it. I would say, look guys, this doesn't work. I'm not having fun. The only reason to do this is to have fun. Right? So if someone's not having fun, it's not working. You all need to have honest conversations about what you want and what your players want. Your players may be, well, I want to do... I don't want to even engage in minimal role play. I just want you to be the computer algorithm. And you should say, well, then we shouldn't play together. You know? We're all here to have fun. If we're not all having fun, something is wrong. Because it's a goddamn game. Right? Games are supposed to be fun. And so just be really honest. I mean, but, of course, honest and caring, understanding. Everyone should, your friends that you play with should be understanding. You should be like, look, guys, I feel like this is all on me. And, yeah, everyone should be understanding, right? We should be like, yeah, good people will be like, you're right. You're the one doing all the work. We're getting all the fun, and we should all have fun, including you. I think that's kind of, if people who are new to D&D don't understand that that's how the game is meant to be played. You don't really, So John here says, it's my family that usually by DM. That's right, you meant, so they gotta make it unfair. Well, again, if players think you're being unfair, you might say, okay, let's take a time out and debrief. What was unfair about this? And I mean, I don't know, John's here. Maybe we can all, even as DMs, can be like, okay, maybe I was a bit too... The combat I designed was overpowering and not at the right level for the players. And maybe, DMs make mistakes. But players also, in the games I run, players need to understand that running away is a viable option. The world's not full of soft marshmallows that you can beat the shit out of, right? In a real campaign world where danger is ever present, And the possibility of death makes the game exciting. You need to realize that sometimes we're overpowered, we're gonna die, we should run away and live to fight another day. Some players don't realize that. Many new D&D players grew up on video games where you can die and press a button and you're right back where you died. D&D's not that way. You die, you're fucking dead. It's over. Start again. Barring some kind of spells and whatnot. So I think some players who, again, come up in the video game world don't recognize that. So that should be something you all, again, all this, it's difficult, but when you begin a campaign with players, I think everyone needs to have some honest conversations about what they expect. Here's what the DM, here's what this world is like. It is dangerous, you can die. Or you might say, my world is fluffy and soft, and it's fine. It's high fantasy, and it's unlikely you'll die. And let's have fun that way. So it all depends on what everyone agrees is what they want. Yeah, exactly. So, cost them. I mean, in my world, they need to, they need to find someone. A cleric might have a revivify spell that can help them out, but maybe not. They're just dead. TS. That stands for tough shit. You never want to make, as a DM, an impossible situation. Because players will resent that. And rightfully. If you put the players in a situation where there is no way they can win, no way they can survive, they're not going to have fun. And rightfully so, they're going to be pissed off. Fair enough. It might be, how to survive might be difficult, and that's fine too. But don't ever put them in a situation where it's hopeless. Because that's, no one has any fun then, Yeah, John Cena, the Coliseum thing, I really don't do that, though. I find it to be it's not the D&D I've played through my life. I've never played the Coliseum style, that kind of stuff, which is really just who knows who can optimize the best for the situation. And I also don't like optimization. One thing I tell players to do is, one kind of trick to say is, don't look at your character sheet and figure out what you can do. Tell me what you want to do. Think about what your characters do right now. Where is your barbarian facing a horde of skeletons? What do they want to do now? Okay, let's figure out how to do that based on the mechanics of your character. Maybe you can't. It's okay, choose something different. Instead of looking at my character sheet, what can I do? No, what do you want to do? And then figure it out. I'm about done, folks. It's been about 3 hours. So I'm gonna, I finished this person here tonight. The Ghoul Queen. And I kind of finished this super easy little spiderweb wrapped up mummy thing. So that's almost done. I'm just gonna dry brush it a second, but pretty much done. So I might raid into another streamer who's out there. Maybe someone who plays D&D, or maybe someone who plays D&D video games like Baldur's Gate. Maybe someone who is a mini painter. Some of the people that I typically raid into. What do we got here? Or people you might know and want to raid into. Officially, I don't know, Elder Scrolls, DJ Bob, blah blah blah. Okay, let's look at who I'm following, who's out there. And that includes Mike Mullins. He's a mini painter. Gary, I don't know what that dude's doing. Dice actress from Germany, GM Workshop. He is playing Baldur's Gate. Might be something to raid into. So DM Workshop playing Baldur's Gate. Mike Mullins, mini painter. Do you want to watch more mini painting, or do you want to watch Baldur's Gate play? So the only way you have revive someone, the rest of the experience is Baldur's Gate. Okay, you go for Baldur's Gate. GM Workshop. He's in Vancouver, BC. He's a preeminent Baldur's Gate player, as far as I can tell. So yeah, let's raid into GM Workshop. I do a squad. I raid him a lot. He's off. He's up. It's his morning. He plays in the morning. I play the night. So there he is. We'll raid into him. Just a couple of us. I appreciate you guys all being here. Thanks. Good to talk to you, John's here. Good to talk to you, Loth Sworn. Sorry if I got kind of like emotional, but I just really feel certain ways about some things. Yeah, and okay, I will. John's here. I will. Hey, let's raid now into GM Workshop. See you soon.